In Trump's inauguration speech, he repeatedly proclaims that we have entered into a golden era and that America now will be living in a golden age. America will flourish and Sunday attendance will skyrocket. President Trump, to sign 200 executive orders in one day, is one of them a bill to boost church attendance? Welcome, dear friends, to TIBP Live, where we put Jesus at the center of prophecy updates. Kindly like and share this prophetic update to all. Thank you, dear patrons and TIBP members. Revelation 13 verse 3, and all the world will wonder after the beast.
Chief Justice Roberts, Justices of the United States Supreme Court, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right now. And admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. And our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
FoxNews.com says, Trump to take more than 200 executive actions on day one. The actions will address border security, DEI, energy, and other issues on which Trump campaigned. Exclusive, President-elect Trump will sign more than 200 executive actions on Inauguration Day. A massive first wave of policy priorities focus on border security, energy, reducing the cost of living for American families, ending DEI programs across the federal government, and more. During his campaign, he said boldly and mightily that if he gets into the White House as president, he will give the evangelical world power like never before. And he will do everything to skyrocket and boost the Sunday church attendance. All eyes are on these bills.
The great revival of America begins on November 5th, 2024. To do it because you're the people we want to hear from, the pastors and the ministers and the rabbis. The people in this room are the people we want to hear from, and they have to have a political voice. You know, if you think about it, you have men, you have women, and you have religion. If you look at it, you have more than the men, you have more than the women. You have such power, but you weren't allowed to use that power. And you're now allowed to use it. I get in there, you're going to be using that power at a level that you've never used it before. It's going to bring back the churchgoer. I mean, you have to see. I don't like the charts when I see charts where they're going in the wrong direction. We don't like that. We're going to bring it back. And I really believe it's the biggest thing missing from this country. It's the biggest thing missing. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country.
Will Trump sign a bill to boost and push and enforce Sunday church attendance? Let me know in the comment section. Sabbath Rest. God ordained the Sabbath as a day of rest, and until very recently, the Judeo-Christian tradition sought to honor that mandate by moral and legal regulation of work on that day. Reading on, Congress should encourage communal rest by amending the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, to require that workers be paid time and a half for hours work on the Sabbath. Communal means shared by all, must be shared to all. That day, reading on, would default to Sunday.
We can be ready to hit the ground running on day one of the next administration.
Make sure that we, as conservatives, are prepared to hit the ground running January 20th, 2025.
This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
Elon Musk tweeted, as I mentioned before, as Trump will enter into the Oval Office, Novus Orosseum, which simply means a new world order. What It's the same thing that you can see on the dollar bill. Even the media is headlining that we are entering and dawning into a new world, golden age. But they are just saying it in a different way. Just like in election time, Fox News, Trump as Phoenix from the ashes. November 2024, Fox News anchor hails Trump as biggest political phoenix from the ashes in US political history. A phoenix is a mythical creature that represents a transformation, hence a transformation into a new world. And the shocking fact is this: the phoenix in ancient Egypt and in classical antiquity, a fabulous bird associated with the worship of the sun. It roots back to the history of the United States and surprisingly a prophetic pattern of worship in the final days. In the $1 bill, you see an eagle facing right with a golden wreath, 13 arrows in its talons, a sunburst breaking through the clouds above its head, representing the sun god Mitra. In a large number of lands, the sun is associated not so much with independence, but with the promise it brings, the dawn of a day. In other words, the rising of the sun represents the dawn of a new era, of a golden age, of so-called peace and prosperity for the newborn nation. Great Controversy says, at the end, says the imposition of the day of the sun will be understood as the secret to return to the peace and prosperity that the United States once enjoyed when it was founded. J.D. Vance says that the new administration, Trump, the new administration, the new president, must be and will be ruthless.
That we have to take away from the last 10 years is that we really need to be really ruthless when it comes to the exercise of power.
And they are now arguing biblical lawmaking
is the most concrete and material gift that we can give to our nation. Laws, indeed, Sabbath laws, Sunday laws that would require a cessation of what? Commerce.
And what will happen to Seventh-day Adventists who are faithful in keeping the Sabbath, the Bible Sabbath that is?
In state blue laws, then you would have to outlaw sports teams on Saturday in order to accommodate Jews for the Sabbath, or Muslims, Seventh-day Adventists. So how do you kind of thread that needle?
Well, we're not obligated to satisfy every group under the sun.
Look at what the think tanks and Christian nationalists say
of Christianity, because which religion has the Sabbath on Sunday? Well, it's Christianity, and so you're not doing it on Saturday. You're not doing it. So you're explicitly saying this is a Christian land, and we're gonna all force you to obey some sort of Christian. And so that's the best critique, and I would just say, that's exactly what it does. I would just one of those things. I'm not going to reject their objection. I'm just going to affirm it. Yes, that's what Christian nationalism is actually saying we're going to privilege the true religion, which is Christianity. And so we are privileging a Christian holy day in a sense. Every good Presbyterian, every Sunday is holy, and we're going to do that because we're a Christian nation. That's the idea of Christian nationalism. So I'm not going to retreat to it's good for all, and of course everyone gets the day off. But it is an explicit recognition of the kind of of privileging of Christianity.
WashingtonPost.com says, do you remember this statement from President Trump? Trump pledges to turn away from those who don't like, quote-unquote, our religion.
It's the biggest thing missing. We have to bring back our religion. We have to bring back Christianity in this country.
Dear friends, will history repeats itself? The golden age can be found in the Bible in Daniel chapter 3. King Nebuchadnezzar, and whosoever does not bow to the golden image will be killed. And now we are entering this golden era. Golden age, having worship as the central issue. as we are entering in modern Babylon time. In Daniel chapter 2, God presented the prophetic scenario. Babylon, head of gold, chest and arms of silver, Medo-Persia, and then at the end, the coming of the rock. King Nebuchadnezzar was not happy with God's prophetic scenario. So he changed the scenario. He attempted to change the scenario and proclaim to the people that this golden image must be worshipped. That marked the golden era in Babylon, where you have to bow or burn. Daniel 2 verse 44, and in the days of these kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. But King Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon, in the golden era, have set up his own scenario, thinking that he can change what God had prophesied. Bowing to the golden image is not the same as showing allegiance to the flag, the civil power, but rather the image was not only a sign of the indestructible and eternal nature of Babylon, the image was really a religious symbol of loyalty to the Babylonian pantheon. You see, in the book of Revelation, we have the wine of Babylon, we have the image of the beast, we have the mark of the beast, and we have the number of the beast, all pointing to the Pope of Rome. Same language and symbolism. The dimension of the golden image was 60 cubits and its width 6 cubits, 90 feet tall and 90 feet wide, set up in the plain of Dura. Babylonian mathematics was based on the sexagesimal system, in which the basic counting units were the number 6 and 60. In antiquity, gold was the dew of the sun. Golden era, because it was believed that it had dripped down from the sun unto the earth. Gold was used to represent the sun god, because gold is the color of the sun. According to Babylonian mathematics, if we multiply 60 by 6, the total is 360, which was a very sacred number in Babylon. 36 gods were placed to rule over the Babylonian pantheon. When the numbers from 1 to 36 are added in sequence, and the total will be 666, the great number of the sun. All the gods were included in this one summary number. And did you know that the number of the papacy, Vicarius Filii Dei, is 666? If you will get the Roman numeral equivalent in Babylon, the sun god called Marduk, he was thought of as the absolute ruler of all time and space, absolute creator of all. Dear friends, when we get to heaven, we will just walk on gold. We will just walk on gold. And the good news, friends, is that Jesus is in the fire in Daniel chapter 3 with the faithful few, and they will not bow down to the image. Why? Because it is a violation of the second commandment. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Psalm 118 verse 8. Are you surrendered today, friend? Have you fixed your eyes on Christ, the author and finisher of our faith? Only a few will stand true. I trust that it's you. And you will reject the mark of the beast. Stand faithful to God. Would you like to surrender today and reject the mark of Satan? Let us all together make solemn decisions today to surrender to Christ in loving obedience to His commandments. Kindly type in the comment section, I reject the mark of the beast. Is this your desire, dear friend? Join us tonight. I reject the mark of the beast. And if you reject the mark of the beast, you will receive the seal of God. Because in the final days, no one will remain neutral. It's either you will stand up for Sunday tradition or the Bible Sabbath of the Lord God. God bless your decisions today. Thank you for joining TIBP Live, and may we continue to preach truth found in Bible prophecy.